And please, let's start introducing yourself.
Yeah, so my name is Daan. I'm a fourth-year PhD student here at the Rotterdam School of Management, Erasmus University here in the Netherlands. And in my research, I focus on how we can sustain engagement with grand challenges. And I mainly do that in the context of agriculture and food, which is a really big problem here. That has been completely deadlocked and polarized, and I'm kind of looking for alternative forms of organizing that can help bring and bridge diverse actors together to address these challenges. And this is also how project studies kind of came on my agenda, as grand challenges themselves could be considered as a large project on a very large scale, but also these actors that are trying to organize for the transition, they also engage in very heterogeneous projects to address complex challenges. So that's kind of how this came on my path.
And what motivated you to join the PMJ College initiative?
Yeah, so what motivated me to join was a conversation with Joanna. So I think I'm a person-driven. I think for me, relationships are important, and when you engage in a conversation with someone and you can connect, that I think motivates me in more ways than information ever can. But then also going through the idea and the documents that were sent to me about PMJ College, I got quite excited about the opportunity of engaging with a lot of senior scholars in the field that are thinking about what it means to organize for projects and around projects. And related areas, of course, and in a community of people that are interested in both the practical relevance and the theoretical implications of such research. So joined, and I think what I really like about their initiative is, of course, that they consider that it is not always obvious for people to stay in academia after a PhD, and they are trying to facilitate and help students in their PhD journey. And I think initiatives like these are what makes academia thrive.
So if you can explain a bit more about your research, what you're doing, and your intended contribution.
Yeah, so my question is, of course, about sustained engagement. And I see that we sustain engagement with grand challenges, but not in a very productive way. So we see that we create very large organizations to kind of facilitate formal and durable forms of interaction. Have a look at the United Nations conventions of the climate change negotiations that happened there. Really big, large organizations, and we sit together and we create new rules, and then everyone needs to follow their rules, and there's compliance officers, and we need to make sure that everyone kind of does what the ambition kind of forces us to do. But we also notice, and we know from a lot of research, that there are a lot of risks involved in this type of organizing. So there's a risk of displacing ambitions and goals. There's a risk of diverting attention and resources away from core problems. And there's, of course, the risk that we're duplicating existing power structures and orders. So my research kind of seeks to disentangle that by using a decoupling lens to kind of show like how the problem can get decoupled from a solution over time. But empirically, my work is more grounded in temporary forms of organizing that can help diverse actors come together in different settings to then learn something that they take with them again to change the system from within their own organizations, within their particular context, rather than having created another organization that is supposed to facilitate that. I believe more in the power of practices getting diffused through people, through important and shared learning experiences. So those forms of organizing are, I think, in fact, projects. And people that take them on, they're also a project themselves.
Mention it. You attended the first workshop of the PMJ College. So tell us a bit more about what happened there and also what was your experience like?
Yeah, so what happened there is we dove deeper into exemplary project management research and focused on a particular piece of work that was published in research policy, at least for our group. And it resulted into a very wonderful conversation also with the author of the published piece about what it means to get that type of work out, and what the publication journey looks like. And it was also wonderful that we had access to the comments of the editor. He also wrote a small reflection, and that was just to be able to engage with what happens behind closed doors. That was very helpful for me to understand, how the published research that we see gets shaped and formed through the publication process, and what we're looking for also in the domain of project management.
And about that, what was the most valuable insights that you get?
Yeah, so for me, that was really this interaction between the editor and the editorial decision maker making, the process of decision making that underpinned what the editor saw and did not see in the work, and how the authors were able to respond to particular obvious criticisms within the paper, and that this is a conversation, and that sometimes I think editors they are rightfully quite apprehensive of giving an R&R because of a lot of constraints. But that also sometimes you need to give them the opportunity to that you need to give authors the opportunity sometimes to still showcase that they can get the project to a level that is acceptable, and give them the opportunity to respond to these criticisms. I found just very, very helpful to kind of better understand what it means to remain in academia, because this is to a certain extent the game that we play with each other. And to understand its processes and how they are structured, I think was very helpful to me.
And as you look at the future, so what are you most excited about the PMJ College program, and how do you see that it will help your growth as a researcher, as young scholar?
Yeah, I think for me it's I'm always searching for what community I resonate with and which community I feel I could belong to. And so it's an ongoing journey in development. So I find it hard to kind of pinpoint exactly what that future will bring. But I do know that it's a very caring environment that we found ourselves in, and I think that type of care that's not unique, but it's but it's channeled and focused, and that is what makes me keep returning to reading the emails, to engaging with other colleagues in the college. And I'm really looking forward to the workshop that's going to be hybrid just before the EGOS conference, to just re-engage with those ideas, and to test out some paper ideas that I have. And it's just very nice that people like Jörg and Joanna and Stuart are available for that. So that is tremendously helpful and useful and impactful.
Yeah, and also inspiring, I think.
Yeah, indeed.
Thank you, really. It was really a pleasure. Thank you for sharing your experience, and see you the next workshop.
Yeah, I see you, Alessandro. I wish you all the best. Take care.